Well, hello and welcome back, you wonderful people that I affectionately call strippers. Tonight, we have a guest. Sometimes we dibble and dabble. Sometimes we chit chat with each other. Sometimes we have that good conversation with those good people, right? And y'all tagged me, okay? Y'all did it. Y'all tagged me. I'm talking about on every platform: Instagram, Twitter. Yeah. Did you see? Did you see Quiet Outside? Did you see Quiet Outside? And I saw it. And I saw it. And then I said to myself, myself said, you cannot have this conversation by yourself. You need to have it with somebody who really understands and who could really tell you the tea that needs to be told. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the story, because y'all have made, oh my God, y'all have made think pieces. In this week, y'all are experts in like child acting cases. Y'all track down flights. Y'all are engineers. Y'all know why the bridge fell. And it's just so many degrees that you guys have. And I don't want you to carry that burden anymore. Amen. So I'm going to relieve you of your duties. Today, we have none other than Mr. Brian Hearn. So please turn on your hearing. You heard.
What's going on? I came in. I should have came in with my usual. I'm a chill though. I'm a chill today.
We love it though. I'm a Jersey girl, so it's always a
Oh, okay. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I got a family in Montclair. So
what you know about it? Now because not that's where my family
right, right. That's what we really might be.
Please give it up for my cousin, please.
We're gonna have to do a deep dive at this point. Now
we're going to have to talk off camera because.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to Ancestry.com. I don't know.
23andMe. Well, either one, both of them is taking our DNA and doing something that we don't know about with it. So that's a whole nother story.
You know what? And as I sit here with like my iPhone headphones on, I can participate in all the things. I cannot give 23andMe and Ancestry.com. I can't give them my DNA. That is just
I did it.
Step too far in the like clog for me.
Absolutely. I messed up. I had some questions. I needed to know some things. I got my answers, but at what cost? $200 actually, but what ultimate cost?
At my cost, my family done did it and it turned into a Tyler Perry play. So
see, and that's valid, because you end up getting like messages from 23andMe like, oh, you got a new cousin and that's a lot. It's a lot. And then you start asking questions about things that you probably don't even want to know the answer to.
No, and then we got for us, there is a direct lineage to the peoples, the slaves and the masters in them. And their family reached out. I just wanted to say I'm sorry.
Oh wow. Let me hold $1. Let me get some reparations.
You want to give a portion of the plantation? Because if not, I really
let me get some land. Like, sorry is not enough.
Sorry.
That's wild.
Now you wasting my minutes. Get off my phone.
Minutes is crazy. Yeah.
Much hello to the chit chatters, to y'all who have joined. Y'all know that there's no real roadmap here to strip, right? We just have good conversations. And so, because again, quiet on set, we had to have the conversation. Brian, I want to start off here. I want to know, if you don't mind sharing, why you said yes to being on the documentary. And now that everything has wrapped up, do you feel like you accomplished your goal?
I'm gonna start with that. With the second part of that question. The goal is not completed until there's like a avid change to the industry, which brings me to the first part of that question. My reason for I've said this before, but I've been approached by, especially over the last 5 years, as soon as they started talking about Dan in particular, as soon as the name Nickelodeon started having a negative connotation, I was getting approached by a lot of documentarians. And realistically, it's like, where are you going with this? And then so once you start having a conversation with somebody and you start realizing, oh, there's something other than just your care for the story. There's something like you want the recognition. Yeah, you're trying to get some clout, you're trying to get the award or whatever. when I sat with Emma Schwartz and Mary Robertson, I realized that these are people who care about the story. They started out as journalists, they became documentarians, and they're people who just got their boots on the ground. They're going for the people who are hurting people. And so to be honest, I was apprehensive. I'm 100% on advocacy, especially for Black youth. And so I wasn't going to do this without Giovanni Samuels. That's my sister. We got a 23-year friendship at this point. And so I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I really believe in these people, but I'm not doing this without you. And so
we die together.
Yeah. So I was very grateful to have her on board. And that was really our reason, man. Like, I want to see a change in the industry. I want this documentary to flip it on its ear. And I want it to start looking real different on set.
Absolutely. Are there any talks of, or does there exist any sort of union, if you will, for lack of better, where you guys can circle around the youth that are still in television? Because that's something that hasn't stopped. There's always a new group of child actors, Is there any sort of coalition, if you will?
It's funny that you asked, because I received, I guess I don't want to divulge too much, but because it's not even like, it's something that's on my heart. But I think as far as action is concerned, there is some wheels turning. So there's a meeting coming up, and I know that I'll be there. I'm gonna be there with bells and whistles on. You're gonna catch me. I'm shaking. You're gonna hear me.
I'm here, and I'll shake it if I need to.
My goal, I really want mental health professionals on set, and I know that there are people that are doing that, but I want to do it loud, and I want to, like, I don't want to just like hear it from someone who's doing it, somebody's auntie's uncle's sister that's like, oh, they've been. No, I want log in Twitter. Oh snap! This person, Brian Hearn, is sitting on set, punching people in the mouth for treating kids wrong on set. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not going to be punching people in the mouth.
We'll put it in
the right?
How do you say?
But at this point, I think that is the main goal. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying. You'll do it professionally. I said, you'll code switch? How do you say get the F away from these kids? But as long as there's something, because there's a lot of chatter, right? But I've also heard a lot in the comments like, well, why? Like, why are we even having this conversation? And for me, I wanted to know that there was something behind it other than just like, now we're just telling you this story, because the gut punch that came after 16 months.
Yeah.
For Pickle Boy was like, hold on. So what conversation are we really having here? A lot of people have asked and wanted to know the spacing. So when they say on the documentary that the parents weren't there with the kids, like they were in the building, but they weren't there, how far were you away from your mother at times?
Yeah. I mean, so you come on set and a lot of times, like, I mean, they treat the kids like adults. You show up and you're there to work. And whoever bought you, they matter because they bought you. But as soon as you arrive on set, they don't necessarily matter. So whatever it don't matter where they are. She could sit, my mom, she could sit in she could sit on set. But there are times that they may say, especially in 2001, there are times that they may say, "Ooh, you're kind of in the way. We got a camera over here. We got a sound guy over here. We got a boom mic over here. We got a lot of wires. Why don't you just go to the green room?" So green room, dressing room, a lot of moms, in my personal experience, not my own, but a lot of moms would go home, drop their kids off, go to the crib and kick it. Sometimes
home.
Yeah.
English.
My mom not going home. My mom, we got a job to do, but
listen, tell your mother tonight when you tell her and say goodnight, I love you, tell her that I said good job. Not like
man.
my clap claps, but good job. It was extremely painful to see her
Right,
as a mother realize that her advocating for you also came in this package of like taking something from you. You know what I mean? And of course, in hindsight, you say, yeah, well, I rather you take season 9 from me than
right.
possibly that. But in that moment, that hurts. What did that do to you as a relationship? And how long did it take for you to see like, oh, you were protecting me?
Right, right. I mean, I was entering my teenage years when this happened. So the angst, that teenage angst was throughout my teenage years. And I didn't know that this was the reason that I was feeling some type of way. But I did have an idea. I did know that, my mom's a protector to a
Mhm.
fault, to a point where, it might be catastrophic. You know what I mean? That's why I had spent a lot of time,
Twin.
kind of holding. That's why I spent a lot of time kind of holding things to myself. If somebody says something out of line to me, I'm not going to tell her because she might burn the place down tomorrow, and then I'm gonna get to work. Work is gonna be ashes everywhere.
But it wasn't that deep.
Right, right, right. And I think that was, as a kid, that's not no type of pressure to put on yourself. She has admitted a lot to being protective to a fault, and has, made apologies on that. And so we just been healing. But I spent a lot of time, I think I spent till like early 20s really trying to grasp anger and resentment, and trying to like internalize it, or trying to work on, without therapy back then,
Right.
what it meant, what it even really meant. And so yeah, we've had an on and off again relationship from that point to now.
And that's that as a loudmouth mama bear. That is that double-edged sword of it, because you want your kid to know, I will tear this earth up for you. Like, let them say
Right.
one thing, but you also
Yeah.
that also comes with the she gonna tear this earth up. I'm not really going to do that. So it is
Right.
a very fine line
Yeah.
in walking and in letting your little kid, and I can't imagine what your mom is going through as a boy, right? Like a little black boy in
Right.
America. So I
Single mom.
am not
Yeah. Yeah.
from New York. Yeah, no, like it's clauses out, because you hear the story. So
Right.
I wonder that I have to imagine that there's some part of her that went in with like her antennas up.
Right. Right. And realistically, like this was our first time in Hollywood. We had worked in New York nonstop. We had worked in Chicago. We had worked in Jersey. We worked in Florida once. Pretty much all East Coast, Midwest. This was the first time really in Hollywood. And so we really kind of went in like, oh, this is a different type of situation. These people are different. They, in New York people are gonna be New York people, whether they at the office, whether they on the train, whether they, sleep.
And New York people really don't play about kids. Like, that's not really something that they're doing. It's a village no matter where you at, generally speaking.
Right. Yeah, but in Hollywood, it was weird. It was weird, man. And we showed up to set. We saw some weird stuff, and we always talked about it on the way home. But it got weirder. It never stopped being weird. It hasn't still. So yeah.
I can only imagine when they kept rolling that clip of you in the peanut butter talking about something, I don't like this.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, when that dog came out, I was like, that's the day he would have went home. Like,
Right. Right. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I've been saying this a lot too. A lot of our sketches that may have left us feeling traumatized started out as our idea. Lil Fetus was my idea. The cab driver sketch was my idea. That's personal. Cab driver sketch is personal experience. That's me in New York going to audition with my mom. But the thing that is scary is you're taking this idea and it starts in a child's mind and you're giving it to an adult, and sometimes the jokes might go over your head. When it comes to the Snick On Air Dares, that was nobody's idea that was a cast member. Nobody on set as a cast member at 13, 14 years old was like, they should put me in a bathtub of worms. Like, no one was saying that. So to kind of walk on set and really feel like, oh, this is like a torture chamber. Like anything could happen. That was uncool.
I remember being out on the On Air Dares because like I was already grown. I was y'all's age. So when it was saying it for me, I was like, it's just all that. Like, So, but I would come back for the On Air Dares because my mom was a Fear Factor girl. I can't do them bugs and them animals. So I was like, oh, this works. Right. No, it doesn't. Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah. What's crazy about the On Air Dares is that was my own. I'm pretty sure that was my only dare. It was traumatic. The smell stayed on me for weeks. And like I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter and jelly. I could not have a peanut butter anything. Put the peanut butter on the banana. Put the peanut butter on the. I could not have no peanut butter for weeks after that. And I took my scenario as you can't complain because everybody else is getting it way worse. The can of worms, the scorpion in the mouth. By the time I had left, I'm now watching, it's like stepping out of an entire box and like you seeing the world for what it is. And then you looking back at that box.
You got a different scope on it.
That's not cool. I saw Jack DeSena get punched by a professional boxer. That was the dare. Like, did they just have it out for my mans? Did they just say, like something happened? Something happened. One of his dares is put a helmet on him, put a little sliver of protection on him, and let a professional boxer go to town on his lower half. For what?
Absolutely not. And the documentary ends with Dan Schneider's statement, and he's saying like, hey, the show all of these shows go through a ton of checks and balances. So even if I did put something weird in, which I didn't, it would have been flagged. And him or his lawyers, whatever, even typing that out was like, hello, the call is coming from inside the house. Y'all don't see that that's the problem. The problem is that was in there and it went through a myriad of checks and balances and we're still having this conversation.
Yeah, I think Drake said it best. I watched an interview. I've been watching a couple of interviews of his, and he was saying that, Nickelodeon statements, Dan's statements are just really kind of distasteful because obviously they weren't written by someone who, didn't practice law, one. And two, let's just find a way to try and cover ourselves. Let's try and cover our own butts because obviously the internet's going to be talking about this. Instead of like maybe taking some real accountability, let me just put a statement out there that's worded pretty, and I'll say, and then I'll live my life. I'll get into my Porsche and like, come on, man.
I'll just say that, they were just poor choices. Did you ever, or have you ever been offered the opportunity of mentorship from the Black cast members on all that may have come before you? The Keenans, the Kells, the Nick Cannons, then or now? Yeah,
I mean, well, not necessarily. So I didn't meet Kel until I was 25. I think I had become a dad already, and he was a dad himself. So we met at a Comic-Con type of situation. I think it was Stan Lee's Kamikaze, something crazy like that. We had all that panel there, and it was old and new, or at the time we were new. And that was fire, but me and Kel chopped it up, but not on a big bro type of situation. It was really just like, wow, you grown. And I was like, yeah. Keenan came to set.
Is wild.
Right?
He might as well just give you a noogie on the head, like, that boy.
He was like, where the headband at? Like, what you doing? You got a child? Like, what in the world?
Bro, and I'd have been like, no.
Like, yeah, bro.
Like she said, Anthony Mackie hit her.
Oh my gosh, Anthony Mackie's my man. He got my birthday. I don't forgive him for playing Tupac though.
Never will he be forgiven. Like, always will that be something that I'll have to say, like, okay, Tony. But the fact that we all collectively know that Anthony he appreciates that you appreciate him. Don't talk to him.
Right. Yeah. It's hilarious. He's a hilarious man. I don't
understand this whole, like, well, you're a celeb.
Right. Yeah, not today. Not at the Super Bowl.
No more than anybody else owes you that. You would not get out your car while just like some pedestrian was pumping their gas and just be like, oh my God, I love
Can I take a right. Yo. Listen, I dealt with, I wouldn't call it fame, but I would call it like a moderate success as a child star. And that was, in the early 2000s, back when it was cool to, chase your favorite person down the mall. So the first time it happened, I was hanging out with Bow Wow. So understandably so, right? Like, I think we had just filmed the Hardball music video. I'm barely in the music video, but I had the time of my life hanging out with Wayne and Zane and Birdman and Bow Wow, Jermaine Dupri, great time. We go to the mall afterwards, and the girls they saw G Baby first. They saw G Baby before they saw, his name is Dwayne. They saw Dwayne before they saw Bow Wow.
Respectfully, Dwayne.
Right? It's still G Baby. But they see Lil Man. Obviously, he's a big man now, but they see him and they're like, oh, let's go up to him. And then they see Bow Wow, and Bow Wow just like routine, just like started booking it. Bodyguards is with him. Black people run when they see black people run. So we got out of there with him. We get in the car, and that was like, for the first time it happened, I was like, wow, I feel like B2K. We out here running from girls in the mall. And then it started happening everywhere. So it was fun until it wasn't.
and then it got
my wife has this funny story, this funny like daydream about how she would have chased me in the mall. But I'm like, what would you have done if you caught me?
Your wife was one of the ones that chased you through the mall. I was gonna say everything we was getting ready to talk about. I go get her. I need this. We was about to. I needed to know, bro. Not you chase down your favorite all that cast member, and now that's your man.
And now y'all married, right? That would have been crazy. She does have a story about how her moms used to like they used to watch Hardball. And her mom used to be like, "You think like you laughing a little too hard at that one? You think he's cute, huh?" And she'd be like, "No, mom, I don't like boys." Well, she did.
It always be the mothers. That's how my mother was with my husband when we were younger. I've known him since I was 4, but she used to be like, "Are you like him?" Because that story wasn't that interesting.
Stop! Leave me alone, mom. Let me live. I was just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
They have cooties. So you go from being chased in the mall to now they say no thank you, season 9. We do it. Where does your desire to create be in the industry, if you will? Do you still have that itch? Are you done with it? Where do you fall now?
I definitely had to like pick up some pieces and like kind of like sit with myself. I mean, Hollywood quite literally chewed us up, spit us out, and we wanted to hit the ground running, and we kind of did. My mom and I, we got back to New York, and we were still acting, still auditioning, still like booking like a short film here and there, commercial here and there. But music kind of really started to take precedence, and it just got really important to focus on. I think we had something to prove. We felt like we had something to prove, and not like in a spiteful way, but just realistically, like we didn't want Hollywood. We didn't want like fame. Fame wasn't the goal. We wanted to do what we love to do. Right? Like my mom was very much like, oh, you like to box? Let's go fight. You like to play chess? I got you a chessboard and I signed you up for that tournament. I don't know if you're gonna be good, but you're gonna find out. You know, and so when it was acting, it was like, okay, we're doing acting classes. We're gonna take it.
I am feeling very triggered.
That's a great. I mean, that's the best type of mom to be. I mean, you know, I think that to allow your child to have passions, plural, and seasonally, try them all out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's not burn out the kids, but let's, you know, oh, I like cheerleading. All right, that's expensive, but girl, we about to go. We about to go do that. I want to do basketball.
Give it the best, and we'll see.
Catch this ball. You want basketball? Catch it. You're like, no, well, catch it. You go put it in the hoop. That's where it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? But giving the
pass, if it's too hard, maybe you don't like basketball, you know?
Maybe you don't like basketball. You're gonna find out though. You know, we're gonna find out all together. So I think honing in the craft is what's like the most important. People ask me today. I don't know if I'm skipping a few questions for you, but people ask me today if I would allow my children to be child stars. And the answer is no. It's a vehement no. I would not allow my child to be a child star. I think that's crazy. I wouldn't allow my child to be a TikTok star. I think that's crazy. I think to see my child exhibit raw talent, which I do. Mm-hmm. All three of my children exhibit very raw talent. They are funny. They can rap. Like, what in the world? Who's rap? Like, who? I mean, obviously me, but like, how you got more flow than I did at four, right?
That's because I'm pretty sure, like, you like rap around the house. Like, little one, her little 9-year-old freestyle is crazy, but everything is a song in her house. Like, everything is a song.
That's beautiful.
Like that when Houston Bobby Brown, it works for me. It works like everything. Like, we brushing our teeth, we go to bed.
Yeah. My daughter got flow. I don't understand where the flow is coming from. I know that it's me. I know that like she hears me making songs. She memorizes the songs. I gotta watch what I say half the time because you know what I mean. There's a lot. I just put my album out today actually. And I think majority of the songs.
And if you guys stick around, we're gonna get a little 1-2. So you know, don't definitely
get a 1-2. But honing in the craft, like to see that raw talent and say, we gotta put you in front of the nation right now, in front of the world right now. It's crazy to me. I would like to. Because I know that my 4-year-old, her name is Nova in specific, is a star, right? But we're gonna hone the craft. We don't even know what capacity her star is gonna be. Is she gonna be a comedian? Is she gonna be a rapper? Is she gonna be a painter? She could be all three. She could be all five. But we're gonna hone it in right now. And by the time she's 16, 17, 18, she could say, okay, this is what I want to do with my life.
Yep.
And then I'll still be there. I'm gonna be supportive, and I'm gonna still be there, but on the set,
singing. I'm doing the thing. Her ear is wide.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fan of her, and that's crazy. Like to even say out loud, this girl is so talented. My husband makes beats on Machine, and so you know when the countdown started,
Yep.
She heard it, and I want to say at 3. My husband said to her, like, oh, what do you want to do? And she said, meat, mope, 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 meat, mope. And she was matching the sound.
Yeah.
She wanted to use it. Like, her ear is crazy. Her timing is crazy. I just said to him, I said, I'm finna call somebody at Netflix. I don't know who, but I'm finna call somebody at Netflix because she needs a comedy special. This girl really be having me cracking up. The amount of times that I'm like actively trying to parent and have to turn my back.
Right.
Call is like, but like you said, I'm at a place now where I couldn't be like, okay, now let's take that out and like audition it. I just
right. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to like, and then you got to have the whole conversation. My mom did a really good job at this as well, having a conversation about rejection, because you're going to hear a lot more no's than yeses. So sometimes as an actor, you really want that role. You need it. And at 9, 10, 11 years old, okay, perfect example. When I was 9, no, that's a lie. When I was 10, I auditioned for Simba on The Lion King, Broadway, right? So I need that. I need that expeditiously. Like we
Was that
we
like 2000
auditioning.
or
That was I'm 88, so that was it was 2000 because technically I think I was 11. I was 11, but I was turning 12 that year. But this is how
my
God
cousin
works,
was the
right?
producer of that show?
No way. I got a bone to pick, but it's all right. But it's all right because my life worked out the way it was supposed to. I, ironically, I'm 5'9". I consider myself a short king. I'm not. I didn't hit 5, 10, 11. I'm not 6 feet. My wingspan is 6 feet. My legs didn't do what my arms did. Very
This what I got.
got a bone to pick with God about that, but we're gonna talk about it. I didn't book Lion King because I was too tall, which is hilarious because I ain't never been too tall for nothing ever since. But if I had, but if so, my mom she had already done a good job at making me understand. Like, all right, we didn't get this. You could feel like, damn, I hurt. I didn't get that role that I really wanted, but something better was coming along. And not only did something better come along, but if I had booked The Lion King, I would not have booked Hardball. I'd have been too busy to audition.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows where I would be now? I would have been a whole different person. I'd have been a theater kid. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with theater kids. I still like theater kids, but I would have been a whole another type of person.
You're not getting chased ball either, though.
I would have had a complex. Like, I was Simba. Like, who are you talking to?
What are you talking about? That was actually one of the first Broadway plays. So that year, that audition that you did, Heather Headley was in that and all that. So that I went to go see that because of my cousin. I met Heather Headley. I met Simba. So had it been you, we would have met there first.
We would have been me. I'd have been at your wedding.
Like, then found out that you was my cousin from my cousin.
Right. That's wild, man.
When we're finished, I'm like, I've got to take your last name to my family because my
family.
We really
gotta find things out. We gotta find something out. I'm gonna text my sister right now, actually, because they still I still have family in Montclair. Like, they're still there. Like, I can go there. Sure. Actually, when I go back east, I that's a place that I can sleep. I can go straight to. Well, I think they live in Bloomfield now.
Same.
But it's down the block.
Look, in the words of J-Lo, if you know, you know. So crazy. No, honestly, as a New Yorker, please, what is your bodega order?
Oh, I need a chopped cheese. I need a chopped cheese on rye, actually. Oh, I could take it on everything bagel though. But I might get a bit depending on the day because I just came from New York. All right, I took my wife out there. It was our first time in New York. We was there not last week, but the week before, and then I came back last week, and now I'm not traveling for the next 2 weeks. But all for this documentary, all of it is to promote and film for this documentary. Yeah, right. And so I made sure I got me a bacon, egg, and cheese on a Monday, but then by Thursday I needed to chop that cheese, please, for me. And I need a quart of water, even though it's not a quarter no more. And it has to be green or else, or blue, I suppose.
If I must.
Right.
J-Lo said hers is this is her bodega order as a New Yorker. Ham and cheese, orange drink, if you know, you know, and a small chip.
Okay.
Because like you know we want to know what you want on your ham and cheese. You know we want to know what type of drink you want, and you know we want to know what you eat.
That's really crazy. I don't know, but she ain't been to the block realistically since 1970. She was a fly girl. I mean, she was on the block when she was a fly girl. But that when was that? She was
outside. You know, she was.
She walked on the block for the song "Jenny from the Block," and that's the last time she was there.
And I would say, because her mother had won that $2 million. It's been a long time from the block.
Come on, it's all right. It's okay.
Like a lot has happened. So take us into new music. Album just dropped today. Tell us about it. How long has it been in the works? Where did the inspiration? Give us all the stuff.
Man, y'all missed a lot.
Yeah, catch us
Y'all
up
missed,
from season 9 to now.
right. Well, I'm very glad that a lot of my music has been wiped, uh, just off the face of the earth, because it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
Not
Um,
a Shaq rap.
there- Not that I was a bad rapper, but that I had adopted this. I kind of went through my child star phase. I kind of went through my, not necessarily that I was doing drugs. I wasn't going crazy like that, but my content, the way that I rapped back then was definitely reminiscent of battle rap. So a lot of people don't understand the bars that were being put in place, and so some of them could come across as offensive, especially if I'm talking about blank celebrity. And I had gotten attacked, I had gotten canceled, like it was a lot, right? And then and
Cancellation.
then cancellations was they was just handing them out to me. I was just all right, I'm canceled today.
Yeah.
But
Internet got it.
but I think I just really needed to heal, or start trying to heal. I was going through a lot. Having that rejection from Nickelodeon, I think, affected me throughout my 20s, and just kind of being
Ground running, right? There's a minute
yeah,
before there's downtime to even kind of process.
right. And it was like, okay, now we got to go, and you got this new manager, and now you got a new manager for acting and a new manager for rapping, and it's two different people, and they might not like each other, but you just gonna have to deal with it. And now you're going on tour. Go on tour. Or you got to go to Australia. Go to Australia for 3 weeks and get trapped out there. That's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother story. But perform like a slave, and then come back to the States, take a break because you're scared to even perform anymore. It's a whole lot of things that went on in life that I was just kind of like,
16 now? How old are you at this?
so no, so at this point, by the time I hit Australia, I think I was 21. Um, but my raps at the time were very kind of like in your face and like off the cuff, and just like, I don't care what I say, I don't care how you take it. And by the time I turned 25, I had really been through some like dark times and needed to. I wish I just knew about therapy back then, and I really just like and I was living in LA, and I was like just going through the motions out there. And like, Hollywood is a weird place. It's a weird place. Weird.
So when you say weird,
Yeah.
we hear this before. Give me weird, like what? You don't have to.
Weird.
You can do your Tank
Like,
and Jay Valentine. I say no names, but weird, like
I can't say no names, but I definitely I experienced I had this manager who was very good. He was a good manager, and he, like, to a point where like he was getting me into directors like homes, instead of just like the audition. Like, you're gonna go to this guy's house and you're gonna sell yourself, like, boom, this is the way I see this character, this is the way I want to do it, how do you want to see? And having conversation like that with a director was something I had not experienced up to this point. And definitely had scenarios where like people were trying to take advantage. Oh, drink this drink, and like, and I'm not even a drinker at that point, but I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And just kind of like realizing, oh, there are definitely things in play to make me be in a compromising position. And so as a man, and I'm a man, I'm not a woman in these scenarios. I can't imagine what women are going through in Hollywood. If they got a manager so good that they get to go to their house and try and sell themselves, and are just trying to do it organically, like, yo, right. I'm so good at acting. I'm literally mad good.
Trying to get the job done.
And then hearing, oh, well, yeah, I believe that you're good, but what are you willing to do to prove that you're good? Like, what? I'm willing to go home and show you my entire middle finger, because that's not the vibe.
This resume wasn't enough. I put it
right. Right.
No, because
you see the material. Get out of here. Get out of here. You don't need nothing else.
And so Lamont, when Sanford and Son spoke about kind of Sanford and Son kind of being what should have been his pinnacle, but being the end. And his exact words was, he wasn't no booty bender. He was like, I wasn't. And the way
Dang. You're hearing a lot of people say that today. A lot of celebrities are coming out like, yeah, I didn't get that role because of this.
I was just like, because there's no mincing of words in that sentence, right? Like he said what he said. You said, excuse me,
Wait
they
a
wanted you to do
minute.
what?
Right.
They
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting. For you and your story, I just keep thinking like, shout out to your mom, like shout out.
Yeah. 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 Because not only did she teach me how to advocate for myself in that way, but she put a battery in my back to a point where I made sure that when I was placed in scenarios where somebody was trying to take advantage of me, I was either ready to fight or I had the exact words to say, hell no.
My sister and I's joke is like whenever we talk about something weird, we'll be like, I have a mom. Like
straight up. Like you're not, there's no, I'm not alone out here. I am not alone.
I'm not alone. We have a game called Make It Rain. We're gonna play the game and then we're gonna let you tell us about the music and then give us some music. Before we do that though, in the documentary, your mother said that even at one point your agent was telling her like, play it cool, like you're gonna blow it. Once things came out, did your mom fire her? Was that like, and you're done?
So I want to clear this up because I know that the people who know me think that she was talking about my agent in New York. When we were hired on all that, my agent in New York was still my agent in New York. Like if I went there, then I would be able to audition. But my agent in LA ended up being Tony Robbins Management, which is Brian Robbins' management team. Brian Robbins was an executive producer on all that. He also was the director on Hardball. So he and I felt like had a close relationship right up until all that started. Just never saw him on set, but I was still, a client of theirs, so that felt cool. But to receive a phone call from them in specific, they were trying to protect their investment. They were trying to protect the situation. So of course they were going to tell her, no, do it for Brian. Obviously he wants to be there. Just hush. Don't ruffle no feathers. Of course.
Gross. The word of the day is protect the children. Guys, we're gonna play Make It Rain. If you stayed around this long, well, then you get to hear about the new music, hear about things post the Nickelodeon bubble. Make It Rain is a rapid fire game, and it's just a play on Stripped. The context is whatever you want the context to be, and the answer is as close to one word as possible. What, if you could, would you change about this world?
I have to give you one word.
I mean, as close as you can. Like that's a long one, but like,
what would I change about the world? I'm gonna just say reparations.
And I'm gonna agree with that. Hello, Joe Biden. We did it, Joe. What movie never failed to make you cry?
Oh, it's a few, but A Walk to Remember. Oh my God, she went crazy. Shorty went nuts.
No, definitely. What food or snack do other people love but you feel is overrated?
Takis.
Especially the blue ones. What's your worst habit?
Oh,
Not the laugh. Call the therapist.
I be biting the mess out of my nails.
Are you a nail?
But
they're jewels, not tools.
I bite them and then I it's gross, bro. I put them between my teeth. Like I pick my teeth out with my nails instead of like flossing. Maybe you should just floss. Like, what are you doing? And then I spit them out like it's gross, bro. And I'm been trying very hard.
It kept getting worse. And I was going to try and identify with you because when I don't have like my acrylics on, I break my nails. But then I don't throw them out. So I'll rip them off. And then like by my bed, there's like a pile of nails or on the dresser. My husband's always like, yo, this is the grossest thing ever. Throw them out. And I'm just, I just don't want them on my hand anymore. Like once that was off, when you started flossing and
I lost with him, bro. It's weird. It's weird.
your wife, we're praying for you. How would your friends describe you?
I think that they would call
As
me
a fingernail spitter. And what else?
Yeah, I think that they would call me caring, but then they would put like a negative connotation on the positive, and they would say that it's annoying. So caring and annoying in the same breath.
That's good. That means you love them. What's one thing that people would be surprised to know about you?
Oh, I love white music, and not. So that's a little broad. That statement is broad. We're gonna take it to a cafe. We're gonna be guitar. So Jason Mraz, Gavin DeGraw, Andy Grammer. Like I'm very big on like those three in particular. Like that's my like Andy Grammer, Justin Nozuka, Jason Mraz, Gavin DeGraw. That's my Mount Rushmore of white boys with guitars. Fire.
Random. But I like it though. I like 1930s music, like post the war.
Wow.
Yeah, like Louis Jordan. Like, is you my baby? Open the door, Richard. Oh my God. What?
Wow. Those are classic. Those are classic. They are classic.
Those are, like oh wait, there's one. Oh, Shake That Boogie. There's a song called Shake That Boogie.
There's a song called it's fire. These records are fire.
Is my jam. There is one about a lady, I don't even know the name of it, but the song is about a lady getting too old and like, girl, what you gonna do? Like the men is they not gonna want you. Like you get it together.
Wow. Not the Cougars.
Enough of other people's music. Let's talk about yours. This album is out today.
Yeah, it's called Martyr. So talking about like, catching up on I met my wife, and I think that my content quite literally calmed down, and my whole like demeanor calmed down when I met her. I stopped being such a fighter and like trying to like, come for everybody's neck or whatever. I think I just started to exist when I met her, and it showed up. Yeah. And it showed up in my music in specific. Like I really just wanted to rap about love and sing about love. And so complete 180. I still like be rapping. But I put out an album, or it wasn't an album, it was an EP, just 3 songs or 4 songs technically, in 2020 during the midst of the whole entire racial awareness and awakening. The album was called I Won't Move. It was a dedication to a friend of mine who passed away not passed away. He was killed by police. He had years beforehand, but I just wanted to, give him his flowers because he was an amazing person. And because of not only the activism that we were doing here in the town that we live in, and the album, I and my wife were the first ever joint recipients of an MLK Spirit Award. Yeah, it was pretty dope. It kind of hit me in a weird way as musically, like I just didn't know where to go. Like I didn't want to be MLK as they portray him. I wanted to be MLK as he was, and I really wanted to be Malcolm X. And so my music got real dark, like super dark. It was dark and it was like real, like, and it didn't fall on the ears well enough. I did a music video called Chains Off Me, or I Hang a Klansman. Still a very, very, very good music video.
So you went right for the nose. You were gonna be like, I'm gonna hit it on it.
Do it. Let's do that. And it was fun. And it was shot by my brother-in-law, and he's an amazing director, videographer, also rapper. So just like shout out to Top. But I realized quick that the audience wasn't ready for that. And it was a dark song. I could see if it was like a, you know what I'm saying, like a little joint.
Yeah, you definitely gave them their strange fruit moment.
Yeah, it was like, here you go. And what you gonna do with it? And they were like, not listen. Ignore it.
The same way we do no strange fruit. Thank you.
Facts. So I kind of like reclined a little bit and like took another break from music. And when I was ready to come back, I was just like, I was in therapy a lot. And I was like, well, how do I transfer the things that I'm learning to like on wax? And that's kind of how this album came about. And it was like real quick. It was like one day I made the song Martyr. And the song Martyr is about how I'm not a martyr. It's the album is called Martyr, but as a whole, the entire album is saying I'm not necessarily willing to die for the cause because I have things to live for, but I will fucking kill you. And so, so you know what I mean? Like let's go. Let's take the ball and throw it to the wall. And so that's pretty much what the album is about. It's about my love of Black people, my love of my Black wife, my Black children, and how I'm willing to protect them at all costs. But also I have a obligation, I feel, to survive.
No, the job is to always make it home. It's to always make it home. And that is what I tell my husband, all the Black men next to me. We can fight anything that needs to be fought from home. Right. But the goal is always to make it home. That resonates with me. I am a say his name kid. So my grandfather was shot and killed on his knees, hands up, execution style by the police. Wow. I love that. Wow. In 1972. So we constantly keep his name alive over here. So to know that you
love that.
Took that experience with your friend and was able to give back. There are so many names that we don't hear, people that we don't know, that don't make the history books, but our lives are affected just the same. You know what I mean? These people are removed from our experiences and our lineages just the same. And so it's a problem. And it's a very big problem. All light matters.
Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. Man, I'm so sorry about your grandfather. That hit me hard. But it
had to be like that for whatever the reason. You know, I do what I can in my little corner to keep his name alive and to say his name. And you know, we do what we can. We don't my family. I think that was one thing. It's one thing that I always try to say when I tell people that there is not a overarching presence of hate towards the police in my family. Right. There is not this like, the Popo took your granddaddy. Like, it's not, you know, giving that. We acknowledge and understand that all the apples from the tree aren't good fruit. And that's just what it is. And unfortunately, in that encounter with that bad apple, it went that way.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I've had some tough conversations in 2020. You know, there are people who, you know, and I don't, like not all of us are bad. Like, but I mean, it's another thing where the system has to be turned on its ear. Like, let's see a documentary on that. I'm trying to see stuff. I'm trying to like
document it. Let me show me the numbers. I want to see, because you have these inner city communities that are policed in large by people who aren't of that community.
Right.
And then that breaks down for a ton of reasons. You know what I mean? Benchmarks, field goals being moved, things of that nature, jobs being taken. But we are always going to be at a disadvantage when, in a moment of rage, in a moment of fear, we have to call somebody who doesn't understand our language.
Right. Like the craziest thing is being in a space where you feel you are in danger and then saying, I have to call this number and feel more in danger. Like that's the
right. And to talk to somebody who's not going to understand my hand emotions are coming just purely out of passion and not anything towards you.
Right. So God forbid something should happen and I'm like, this is happening.
Sir, please put your hands down.
Oh my God. Crazy. Not Not okay.
Okay, so are you going? What is your favorite song off of Murder? Are you going to give us a tidbit? What?
Crazy.
Where can we find it first before we get into?
Oh, it's everywhere. It's on the Spotify and the Apple and the Tidal. If you've got Tidal, I don't know nobody has Tidal. It's messed up because
don't do Tidal like that. I have Tidal.
Oh, there you go.
And their prices just went down, so we love to hear it.
Right, it's on there. It's there. Dang, I should do that song, huh? I don't know it though. So here's the deal. I don't know. I think I have a favorite record. I think if I have a favorite record,
I don't know it.
The favorite record, right? It's because I have a song where I say, "Oh, I'm not wearing any chains." That is, you got a raw version of me, okay? Because usually it's at least three. Version. Stripped. Ain't no bracelets either. Just the wedding ring. That is amazing.
Look at that. Come on, Black Love.
No, oh, that's nice. That is nice. He did his thing. I have a favorite record. And it's called Surf's Up, Bless Up. It's kind of like an ode to where I grew up, Coney Island, Brooklyn. I lived on Surf Ave. I'm not going to do that song because I don't know that song. But I love that song so much because I have a line where I say, "These are not chains around my neck. These are the halos of my ancestors," right? That was the premise. That was like I wrote that in a poem a long time ago. And then I heard it when I performed the poem. And as I was performing the poem, I was like, that is a bar. But like, you can't, I'm on stage, so you can't really like react like that. But I was like, I need to go home. And it was like 2 days before I had to send the album in to master. And I was like, I gotta record a song. And my wife was like, what? I thought we was gonna watch a movie. I was like, listen, we're gonna watch this movie, but I have to record a song right now. And it's I think it's her favorite record too. But dang, now I gotta do the record.
Talking about it. Oh, it's my wife's favorite record, and then not do it after you just showed us the wedding ring.
That's crazy.
And it was like anti-Black Love.
Bags, right? You can't just. So we're gonna turn this up. This is my favorite record. Let me mute the other people. I'm talking on it. Don't be talking.
Let's go. Favorite record. This is your Stripped First Listen.
Okay, here we go.
Favorite song off of Murder.
It would be nice if it played. Not the speaker, not working. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. Let me do it again. I'm on the way, ain't feeling no ways, cause I keep my frequency higher than Jupiter rings. I got Yahweh to thank, that's why I levitate. So you watch your energy when you step in my way. I'm too well dressed to be pressed, I'm too blessed up to be stressed. I'm so next up, surf's up, I'm blessed up. And I don't wear chains around my neck. These are the halos of my angels, my ancestors. And that's why I'm blessed up. You are working from the jump. Favor comes down on me easily. Lord, when it's over my cup. And when the squad roll up, the devil can really get jumped. Favor comes down on me easily. And that's why I'm blessed up. Bless up. And I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to show these young brothers it's okay to fail. Anyone trying to mess with me, they're throwing the skill. If you were coming through me, you know I'ma feel. I'm trying to be the best version of me. I'm just struggling to serve my peace. I do not give it no energy. I'm not a king, I'm a deity. The Lord is my shepherd, I am not a straight to the industry. Taking the industry. Kill all the people that's harming the children and let's live a life of tranquility. Yeah.
Sorry, it was multiple bars. It was multiple ones. I said, "Oh, hold on. It's plenty Instagram captions in them." Okay, quote
Right. Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
trying to heal like that.
I'm trying to heal.
That's the one. I'm trying to heal.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break these generational curses.
Yeah.
Actively being a chain breaker. I like that because I'm blessed.
Right. I'm blessed up. I'm too well dressed to be pressed. I'm too, what did I say? I'm too well dressed to be pressed. I forgot. Something about I'm too
Come on, Beyonce. We
I'm too
don't know the
stressed
lyrics
out.
to heat it. Thank you.
Yo, somebody getting fired because yeah, but I think that it is. I love Chance the Rapper. I think Chance is a really. I mean, I didn't listen to the first two records until I met my wife. I listened to 10 Day or Acid Rap. I listened to Coloring Book first, and then I had to go back. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. What you doing? You be listening to him?"
What do you mean? What am I doing? What are you doing? Why didn't you tell me I needed to listen to this earlier?
Right? Like what? But I think that we need more rappers like him. I'm trying to like walk in a purpose like that. Somebody who is like, who has some youth to him, but also is like, yo, these are the things that I'm doing in life. I'm just trying to elevate. I'm just trying to levitate, yo. I'm just trying to like be the best version of myself I could possibly be for y'all, for myself, for my children. You know what I mean?
For the generations that come from me, for all of it. I just had a conversation with my husband last night about healing, right? And how we were talking about this and you coming on, and I was talking about how we give so much credit and credence to things that we do because of slavery, right? Taraji P. Henson, like, oh, we run away when we laugh because of slavery, but we never really talk about
the way she was treated for saying that was weird. But go ahead.
It was, and that is a whole nother breakdown. But
it was hilarious.
I feel like we never really give credence to the trauma that came with having to shut down when it comes to your kids, having to have kids and know that your family is going to be ripped from you, right? So this ancestral pull that comes from being okay if there is division with inside of the family and all of these things. And we were talking about, well, how do you heal that? Obviously healing looks different for everybody, but I said I feel like we have to heal that by honoring the spaces that they had to occupy because they had to occupy. This whole black people don't have a green thumb. Well, what the fuck was slavery? No, we have to honor that and heal that through being able to garden and all of access that green thumb, but from a different place. You know what I mean? And allow that to heal the ancestors inside of us and then put that to bed.
I think that's going to end up being my midlife crisis is going to be gardening. I'm not going to do a sports car. Like, what am I going to do with the sports car? I got, you know what I mean?
Midlife crisis is going to be gardening, please.
Me and my wife going to be sitting there. The greenhouse is going to be our house. That's going to be the difference. You're just going to see plants everywhere. And our poor children are going to be like, yo.
No, they're not. Your kids are going to fall in love with them. My daughter be like, she be saying goodnight to the plants and stuff now. Like because we name them and stuff. So like she'll say goodnight to them, she'll pet them, she'll like goodnight. We have a bromeliad. We have one. We named it Broomhilda, and then we nicknamed
it.
Nice. So she was like, night, Broomy.
That's beautiful.
Real lame shit. Guys, thank you for being here, Brian. Thank you for being here, for stripping down with us. Until next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Remember that it is $3.99 to be a good person. So go outside and do that shit. And if you can't,
that's right.
that shit to yourself. Okay?
Yeah.